Java interview coding questions Pascal's triangle. To print Pascal's triangle, we have to follow 3 steps. The first step is find factorial of a number. So let's start writing code to find factorial of a number, because to print Pascal's triangle, here I am using NCR method. So we'll write class name factorial. So next what we have to do, we have to create function with name to find factorial. It will return int value. So we'll write here int. So factorial means what? Let's consider, for example, you have to find factorial for number 3. That is 3 factorial. 3 factorial means what? 3 into 2 into 1. It will become 6. So we'll write here for loop. In for loop, what we have to write? First we'll initialize the I value with 1. Condition is what? When I is less than or equal to n. N means what here? The number. When I is less than or equal to n, then increment the value of I. So we'll take here variable called fact to store the value of factorial. First we'll initialize this with 1. Here also it will return the int value. So we'll write here int. So factorial number is fact into I. So we'll store this fact value in one more variable called fact. Then we'll return fact. Initially the value of I is 1. Then we'll check for condition. 1 is less than or equal to n. Let's consider the value of n will be 3. Then 1 is less than or equal to 3. Then multiply with the previous value of fact. Then 1 into 1 will become 1. Store that 1 in fact variable. Then again increment the value of I. Then the value of I will become 2. 2 is less than or equal to 3. Again multiply with the fact value. Then fact value will become 1 into 2 is equal to 2. Then it will store in variable called fact. Again increment the value of I. Then I value will become 3. 3 is less than or equal to 3. Condition satisfies. Again multiply 3 with the older fact value and store in one more fact variable. Then fact value will become 6. Again increment the value of I. Then I value will become 4. 4 is not less than or equal to 3. Then come out of the for loop. Then return the value of the fact. This completes code to find factorial of number. Next what we have to do is we have to define NCR formula. Then what is the formula of NCR? Here the value of n and r is integer. If you observe the triangle, total how many rows are there? It's 4, right? The Pascal's triangle, it mainly depends upon the number of rows. In first row, how many elements are there? 1, right? Like that. In second row, 2 elements. In third row, 3 elements. And in fourth row, 4 elements. Which is similar to the NCR. Like in NCR, in first row, how many elements are there? 1, right? That is 0th column, 0th row. In second row, first row, 0 column. Like that. In first row, first column. That means in first row, this is the first element. In second row, this is the first element and this is the second element. In third row, this is the first element, this is the second element, this is the third element. And in fourth row, this is the first element, second element, third element, fourth element. Till now, we have seen how many elements are there in each row. What we have to do is, we have to find how many spaces are there in each row. In first row, how many spaces we have? 3 space. Like that. In second row, 2 space. In third row, 1 space. In fourth row, 0 space. So here, the space value is decrementing. It is also depends upon the row. To print numbers in between spaces, we are using NCR principle. So we'll define NCR formula here by taking method called NCR formula. It will also return int value. So we'll write int n comma in r. Here we'll write int. Then what is the formula of NCR? N factorial divided by n minus r factorial r factorial. So we'll write here the above method, that is we'll copy this. Here we'll write to find factorial of n divided by to find factorial of n minus r into to find factorial of r. We'll return this. Next we'll take one more method to write logic and to print Pascal triangle. So we'll take method with name display Pascal triangle. To design Pascal triangle, first we have to concentrate on rows. So we'll take one for loop to iterate rows. In for loop, we'll write in row is equal to 0. We'll assume the initial condition of row is 0 because row value always starts from 0. If you give number 3, then it will start from 0, 1, 2. If you give 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, till what condition it will iterate? When row count is less than the number of rows, that is n. If row count is less than n, then again increment the value of row. So we'll write row plus plus. So next what we have to do? We have to print the empty spaces. To print empty spaces, we'll take one more for loop. In for loop, we'll write int space is equal to n minus 1. n minus 1 is 3. Till what condition? When space is greater than row. If space value is greater than row, then decrement the value of space. The initial value of space is equal to n minus 1. Then what is the value of n? Let's consider the value of n is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 is greater than row value, that is 0. 3 is greater than 0. If 3 is greater than 0, then print space. Again decrement the value of space, then space value will become 2. 2 is greater than 0. Yes, condition satisfies. Again print space. Again decrement the value of space, then space value is 1. 1 is greater than 0. Again print space. Then again decrement the value of space, that is 0. Then space value will become space is equal to 0. Space is, then 0 is not greater than row value 0. So come out of the for loop. Here we are taking n minus space is equal to n minus 1 because it should not be equal to number of rows. To print numbers, we'll take one more for loop. In for loop, we'll write int column is equal to 0. Column is less than or equal to row. Then increment column. Here the column value is 0. The 0 is less than or equal to 0. Then print the value of 0th column, 0th row. If you find the factorial of 0th column, 0th row, you will get the value is 1. Then print the value of 1 in 0 column. The increment the value of column. Important thing is 0 factorial is equal to 1. From 0, it will become 1. 1 is not less than 0. Then stop iterating. Then again increment the value of row 1. 1 is less than n, that is 1 is less than 4. Again in second for loop, 3 is greater than 1. Print space less than row value, that is 1. Then find the value for 1C0, that is 1 factorial divided by 1 minus 0 factorial into 0 factorial. The value you will get is 1. Likewise keeps on iterating till row value becomes greater than n. In first for loop, we are not printing anything. We are just iterating the number of rows. But in second for loop, we are printing the space in each row. In third for loop, we are printing the number by using NCR formula. The second and third for loop, it depends upon the first for loop. To go to next line, we'll write SOP ln. So next, we'll create a main class, that is Pascal triangle. So in main method, we'll create an object for the factorial class. So we'll write factorial obj is equal to new factorial. Through this object, we'll call this display Pascal triangle method. So here we'll give, for example, the value 4. Let's run this code. We'll see what output we'll get. Here it is printing total 4 rows. In first row, 1 element. In second row, 2 element. In third row, 3 element. In fourth row, 4 element. Is the values of NCR formula. The specialty of the Pascal triangle is in the beginning of the row and at the end of the row, it will print 1. In first row, always it will print the value is 1 and in between numbers, 3 value is addition of 1 and 2 and also this 3 value is addition of 2 and 1. We'll change value from 4 to 3. Again, run this code. Here it is printing 3 rows. This is how we write program to print Pascal's triangle for different row values. Please subscribe to our channel to support us.